So what does it mean? I just managed to be able to stay where I am. And now I wonder if I'm actually meant to go to Germany. Or if that fine memory from the past is just someone else was someone else reminding me of someone. I just saw something that stirred some memories, and it made me put certain pieces together. That there's one memory from the past that I've never connected to anything until now. This just blows my mind. What does it mean? This just had me in tears. There's a little bit of sadness, just because I forgot how deep that past memory as well touched me. But mostly I feel very nostalgic, and so it's not sad, it's just, it's not sadness, it's how deeply I feel for this. I will share this because how else could I measure the depth of this? What's triggering in me? Okay, so we're in the darkness. So this will be maybe. Okay, so I was born in Germany, and in school, so I left after 4th grade. We moved to another country. I was 10, 11. I remember in school I had this necklace. And it had this shape of a flower, and in the center of it, of this flower, there was this blue stone. I remember how I told my mother that it has the color of the eyes of the one that I was completely in love with. this boy. I remember there was one time that I actually went at his place, like to spend some time together, and that was after a dancing class. So I still had like the clothing on from that dancing class, and that I that I was sitting on a tree. Must have been some way of, because he was not on the tree, but I climbed up that tree to talk to him, like taking the distance, because I was nervous. I was very much in love. That was very intense. And I remember how one winter we were playing with these snowballs, and they were throwing snowballs at me. I enjoyed that. But I remember one moment this boy came running and stood in front of me with his hands extended, like to protect me, and he said, "No, not on her. You're not gonna throw the snowballs on her." And he was very protective of me. And then I also remember that we used after school to walk together until our ways separated and each had to go to each side. We would always like cross over this railroad and through a park where there was a store where they sold hamsters and rabbits and like those kinds of animals. And one day he said to me that one day when he's able to, he will buy me a rabbit and a hamster. I think he has had a hamster. That was, yeah. Well, in 2001, we moved to Spain. I never saw this guy again. I never said goodbye either. There is only one person I have ever told about this. It's also quite a long time ago. Now, we moved to Spain and so my stepfather had a Chrysler. So we were always like, because our home is in the mountains, we would always like listen to this music and sing together and do the drums in the car. Like I used to do that, like the rhythm and sing with the music he put on. So we would be jamming in the car. And in the Chrysler on that road, because it has like certain road until we would get to the city. And yes, that was in 2001. And I remember that I was suffering for a while to get used to the new culture and to have like a real friends circle there. I remember also, there are a lot of family issues, a lot. That I felt very alone and that I wanted to leave that place. Now, when I was 17, certain person, that was where I actually had to repeat a class because I considered that my Spanish was not good enough, which was a total crisis. But then I was very happy. That was for the first time that I really felt like maybe connected again to people. I was in high school. And what happened that day, or that year? So I was 17, and I had like suddenly this vision. When I started a connection with someone, I had like this vision of my own light body, naked, like white light, carved in a tunnel of a railroad. I know I painted that vision in art class, and later on I destroyed it, which I'm very I regret that. I did destroy a couple of things that year. Not for a bad thing, I just thought it was the right thing to do. Like, I thought I found what I was looking for. I didn't need that. I don't know. Well, that railroad and being cuffed up, I very well know now what that meant. That path, like, that was a whole experience that I'm going through, which actually would be, I thought, the cover of my first music album, which would be about this experience, like taking the train through the timelines and, you know, the journey. And I just got distracted. So yeah, that was an idea. So I repainted that for the cover of my first album. Maybe also a memory of this railroad from whatever time that was, having to do with oppression, right? During this journey, I mean, I have seen through several lifetimes experience, probably, that I want to make peace with. Because, so my intention here is not to be like this, to continue this pattern of a broken record that people just have to repeat all the time. So I want to break this cycle, right? To make peace with all of it. So people, like, I'm not the kind of person running with this software system thinking of an eye for an eye, you know. I just want to break this pattern. You know? I feel like this love is just greater than that. If we really want to make a change on how this all works. We have to stop to repeat the same things, the same pattern, right? So someone just literally connected those things for me. And I wanted to share this because it makes me reflect a lot on this. Mm. Even the type of music we used to listen in the car. Like, it looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I've seen a lot of signs yesterday about freedom, so I went to the beach to have like a to do a cleanse, like with the salt water. Still feel like a little bit in this celebration mode, which is nice. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm very, very touched. This is very deep, and I want to thank this person that made me connect these pieces together. That is thank you.